Your ability to achieve financial freedom depends upon many factors, one of which is saving. Saving to me is probably the sexiest thing in the universe because it feels like I get to decide how my future is gonna look like. And that's why this year I have decided to save at least $25,000. And I know for some people that might not be a lot of money, but given that the average millennial struggle to save 6% of his income, I guess getting to the habit of saving more is definitely something that we want to become master at if we are serious about achieving financial freedom. Therefore, in this video, I will be revealing my best tips and strategies on how you can save more money than you've ever done in 2020. So, if you are excited about this topic, you know what to do. Destroy the like button and let's dive right in. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I am Joly Tematio, and in this channel, we are all about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and business opportunities. Therefore, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing because on a weekly basis, there are new videos showing you the hottest tips around savings, investing, and how to build your own successful business from scratch or to scale it or and grow it in case you already have one. So for all that good stuff, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever a new video is up. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best saving tips that you can truly use and leverage to save more money than you've ever done in one single year. Okay, these tips really apply to anyone, whether you are a student, a worker, or a business owner, right? No matter how much you are earning, it's really a matter of consistency, it's really a matter of discipline when it comes to saving that much money, okay? The first tip that you have to master when it comes to saving more money is to have a clear goal, okay? And that's not something that comes natural to many people because we usually tend to spend most of our money because we just want to satisfy our current needs, and we usually picture our future self as someone who is coming into life in the very long term, and we don't feel the urge to really put money aside for that future person that we are going to become. And once you really start thinking about yourself in that way, it's another motivation to start saving more. So the first thing that you want to start doing, if you're not already, is to become committed on saving more. And the best way to get committed on saving more is really to have a goal that you want to achieve, because if you just decide to save more for the sake of saving more, it's gonna be hard. There might be time in which you just feel like not doing it, but having a goal attached to the willingness of saving more definitely is going to keep you accountable of putting that money aside on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis, no matter how often you get your income, right? So have a long-term goal, like it might be 6-month goal or it might be 1-year goal, but really a goal which is going to keep you accountable of hitting that target, okay? The goal might be to buy a house, might be to become a millionaire, it might be to invest in some business, or even to have some charity work that you want to be part of. Also be to impact the society in a big, powerful way. The goal might be diverse, but really choose a goal which is close to your heart and which is going to keep you accountable for saving consistently, okay? Once you have that goal, the second thing that you want to do is to have a budgeting template. A budgeting template is basically like an accountability partner. It's like a reminder in which is really there to show you in which area you are spending too much money. I have, since the beginning of this year, started using a budgeting template, and it has made a huge difference in my saving habit, because now I am able to really see where the income is coming from and what I'm saving and what I'm spending the most on, okay? We usually tend just to spend without really tracking our expenses, but when you start tracking down your expenses, it really makes a huge difference, okay? Because you're really able to see, okay, why am I spending that much money, or how come with that income that I receive, I'm only left with this amount of money. And then by tracking, you're able to see, okay, in which area am I spending too much money, and what value do the money that I'm spending actually bring into my life, okay? For me, for example, when I started with my budgeting template, I was living in a flat which was costing $1,200. And at the beginning, I didn't really realize the impact that the flat will have on my savings until I was really tracking. I was like, oh my god, I have only this much money left because I'm spending too much money on that. And by tracking my expenses that closely, I was really able to cut down on my rent by 3 times down, okay? And that's something that I probably would have not done if I didn't have a clear goal on what I was going to achieve, on why I was saving that much money, and really tracking my expenses. That's why I really recommend you guys to have a budgeting sheet in which you will see how much money comes in which area you are actually spending that money, and also how much you are then able to save. Again, having a compelling reason behind saving is definitely something which is huge when it comes to staying consistent. So my third tip is really to follow a simple and proven budgeting rule, which is the 50-30-20 rule. So that rule basically says that 50% of your income should go into expenses. Those are compared to your expenses, so rent, transportation, food, electricity, and so on. And 30% of your income should go towards your wants, okay? So 50% is for the needs, what you really need to survive, okay? And 30% is really for what makes you happy. 30% of your income should go into charity, entertainment, clothing, going out, eating out, traveling, and those type of stuff. And then 20% of your income should be savings. Given that I am committed to save as much money as possible this year, I've decided to actually save 50% of everything which I will earn. 30% will be my expenses, my needs, okay? And 20% will really be remaining for education, wants, and giving back to the community. And that's really how I manage my money. One pro tip here would be to use automatic withdrawal from your account. It consists in setting up a percentage of your income which is directly supposed to go into your saving account. And when you do so, you are able to save more in a more systematic and automatic way. And it's very easy to set up. Just speak with your bank and decide to create a saving account and decide the percentage of your income which will go into it. For myself, it's 50%. So every 50% of what I earn directly goes into my saving account and I don't even look at it. Start with something that you feel really comfortable with. I would advise that at least 20% of your income should be automatically saved, okay? And you'll see how exciting it really feels when you see that money growing and compounding over time. Now, let's dive into the area in which you are probably spending the most and an area in which saving will definitely make the most impact in your goal. The first one is rent, okay? It has been shown that each millionaire, the average person, spend 30 to 50% of his income on rent only, and that's huge. And when you manage to cut that expense down, your money is able to grow much more faster. And what I like to do when it comes to renting is rent hacking. It really consists on getting a bigger flat and renting one of the room in your flat. Okay, if you have a bigger flat now and you don't want to live with a roommate or with a flatmate, really think about downsizing and renting a flat which is smaller. Okay, that's something which has worked for me. I was able to save 30% more of my income really by cutting down on my rent. Rent has been proven to be one of those expenses in which millennials tend to spend, and even people in general tend to spend the most of the money. Just because your income is growing, it doesn't mean that your expenses have to grow proportionally, guys. Always try to keep your expenses to the strict minimum. So start by thinking how you can house hack, how you can rent hack, or simply move on to a smaller flat. Okay, I know it won't seem fancy, and that's the reason why you really want to be clear on what is the goal that you want to achieve, because if you don't have a goal which will keep you and make you stick to those resolutions, it's going to be so much harder to make those changes which are needed to be done in order to achieve that level of savings. Okay, so the first one is rent. Try to lower your rent expenses as much as possible, because that's definitely the biggest one. The second expense in which we really tend to spend a lot of money is food, and I really feel like food is the most perishable good out there. Okay, because once you've eaten it, it's done. It's true that eating healthy food is of great importance if you want to stay healthy, productive, and energized. But try to lower your food expenses in the sense that avoid eating out as often as you are currently doing. If you eat out a lot, rather go for homemade foods, okay, which are tastier, healthier, and by making your own meal at home, you are saving so much more money than if you were eating out. The third expense in which we are spending the most money is definitely transportation, especially for those who own a car. Owning a car can be very expensive. Between the price of the vehicle, financing costs, taxes, and maintenance, having your own car can easily and happily drain your bank account. It has been shown that on average, you might be spending between $5,000 to $8,000 a year on your car. And if you think about it, that money could be saved. Here you really have to assess whether or not it makes sense for you to own a car, okay? If you live in an urban area in which you have easy access to public transportation, maybe it makes sense to save that money, go with subway or the bus. Here, really think about how necessary it is for you to have a car, and if you aim to go with a used car, if you cannot do without one, my pro advice here for you will be: do not buy that car, no matter how cool it looks like, with a 12% interest rate. Compound interest is not your friend until it's been earned through a retirement fund or through a saving account. Always keep in mind that you shouldn't be paying interest on something which is not making you money. And getting into debt just to buy a car, it's probably one of the worst decisions that you can make in your younger years, because cars are depreciating at a very rapid growth, and you should ideally aim to go with a car which is already used in order to save the most of your money. The fifth area in which we spend a lot of money is definitely clothing. And with the expansion of brand, of course, it makes it appealing for each of us to have those designer clothes. And here my pro tip would really be to unsubscribe from all the email from those companies, okay? Because what you have to realize is that email marketers who are sending you those discount offer are extremely good at copywriting and creating content which is appealing and which is designed to make you buy. And the easiest way to stay away from the temptation is really by unsubscribing. So instead of designer clothes, really consider going with normal brand, okay? You can still look very chic and you can still look very fancy with clothes which do not cost as much as the branded one. The more money you have saved up, easy it's gonna be for you to size the right opportunity when it comes across you. And another tip when it comes to saving more money is really having a jar in which you can put all of your little coins. And you might think, okay, Joly, this is not going to make the biggest impact because saving pennies will only get me so far, right? But you'll be astonished of how much money you are able to save. In a recent study, it has actually been shown that you can save between 500 to 800 per year by using this simple little trick. So just have a jar in which you can consistently put spare change, and that will make a huge difference in your saving goals. And my last advice for you is really to become the jack of all trades. You usually don't even realize how much money we are spending on stuff that we could do on our own. I used to spend a lot of money on hair and nails and all of that good stuff. And by having a budgeting template and really tracking where my expenses were going, I easily realized that those areas were areas in which I was spending much money. But so I would really encourage you to take a hard look on your day-to-day life and see area for which you're spending money that you can maybe do on your own, okay? Because there's a huge feeling of independence and self-gratification that comes with the fact of being able to do on yourself stuff that you were used to pay for. So really start to look at ways in which you can cut back on those expenses. That's why I highly encourage you to download my budgeting template in the description box. That's something which I use for myself and which has made the biggest difference, guys. I cannot recommend it enough. So it's an Excel file. I will have it linked in the description box. Make sure to check it out. One of the pro tips that I have here is to really write down your goal. Do not only say I'm gonna save this much money, but really write it down and commit to the process. And studies have shown that people who write down their goal have a higher chance of reaching it than people who don't. Mine is really to save between $25,000 to $30,000 in 2020. So let me know in the comment section, how much are you planning to save this year? And my final tip around the best way to save as much money as humanly possible in 2020 is to start a side hustle or to start a own business. You don't need to have a lot of money to start your own business. In fact, I have in a very recent video discussed with you different businesses idea that you can start with a very low capital, okay? Even when you have a full-time job or you are really busy at school, I've made a video, to check it here. And in case you are someone who have time but you don't have money, I've also made a video showing you how you can really build a business without much capital. And we are talking here about starting with less than 1,000 euro. These ideas are unique but so much profitable. I would really advise you to check them out and see which one you can implement right now. And why do you need a business? Well, having multiple sources of income is something that will allow you to really grow faster financially and also save more money. Because if you only rely on one source of income, your chances of achieving financial freedom are of course going to be lower, okay? That's why I really encourage you to start thinking of investing into your own business. That's the long-term game. Of course, you could get a side job, but there are only so many hours in a day, and I don't want you to get in the trap of trading your time for money. Really think about how you can invest into your business. Really think about how you can invest on something which will allow you to then free yourself up from a 9-to-5 job. Okay, guys, I'll have the link in the description box on how you can start, even if you're on a tight schedule, and the different businesses idea that you can start implementing, even if you're on a shoestring budget. I'll have everything linked on my description box and I will encourage you to check them out. I've recently created my Facebook business page and I would really love for you to check it out and to follow the page. There I post on a daily basis strategies and tricks and mindset motivation which will really keep you accountable of your goals of saving more, okay? Follow me on Facebook and I will be able to interact on an easier and faster way. Do not forget to download your budgeting template and start using it on a monthly, on a daily, on a weekly basis. And that's about it for this video, guys. I hope it provided you with some value and with some actionable steps that you can take today in order to save as much as possible. Let me know in the comment section, which tip are you currently using to save as much money as possible. Do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever there's a new video. We are a community of freedom fighters, and I'm looking forward to having you as a new member of the family. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. And until the next one, be bold, be unstoppable, be fearless.